That's why nobody watches you anymore. Who are you with? Who are you with? You with who? Hearst. I didn't know there was such a thing.
Mr. President, any trade deals coming this week?
It could very well be.
Can you tell us more about them?
Nobody understands. We're negotiating with many countries. But at the end of this, I'll set my own deals because I set the deal. They don't set the deal. I set the deal. They've been ripping us off for years. I set the deal. Every country, almost without fail, friend and foe, has been ripping us off for years. So we're meeting with almost all of them, including China. And at the end, I'm setting the deal. They keep saying, when are you going to... This is not like a big deal that's going to be signed. In some cases, we'll sign. But we don't have to have signed. I'm going to be setting the deal. I'll be setting a tariff. You keep asking the same question. When will you agree? It's up to me. It's not up to them. It's up to me. Now, they don't have to deal with us, which is okay, because we lost... Under Biden, we're losing $5 billion a day. Think of it. $5 billion a day. Now we're not dealing with China at all because the tariff's so high that they basically can't deal. And because of that, we're saving billions of dollars, you know. But just, and I'm not saying this to be a wise guy with you, to be mean. I don't want to be mean. You're, you know, good professional. But you do keep asking me that same question. It's not like we're going to sit down in an ivory room and we're going to just, he's going to say, there'll be some of that, very little. I don't see a lot of it. At some point in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'm going to be setting the deal. I'm going to say that such and such a country has had a tremendous trade surplus their way with us. And they've taken advantage of us in various ways. And we fully understand what they were doing. We were being led by people that were not very smart. They were able to be taken advantage of. But I can't be taken advantage of. So at a certain point...
President Trump aboard Air Force One, surrounded by reporters, and he is not backing down. He stares straight into the lens of the world and drops a phrase that defines his presidency. I set the deal. They don't set the deal. I set the deal. This is not diplomacy. This is declaration. Trump isn't negotiating. He is laying down the law. Every country, friend or foe, has been ripping us off for years. That ends now. He says America was losing $5 billion a day under Biden. $5 billion every single day, but now. He's not waiting for signatures, not waiting for global approval. He's setting the deal. On his terms, on his timeline. Trump isn't playing by the old rules. He's burning the rule book and building a new one, where America decides. Not the UN, not Beijing, not Brussels, just us.
What's your timeline on the rest of your judicial nominations? What's your criteria when you're thinking that
What's your nominations?
the future judicial nominations for federal judge positions?
Well, we're putting them in rapidly. We're trying to get very good ones. I mean, we need judges that are not going to be demanding trials for every single illegal immigrant. We have millions of people that have come in here illegally. And we can't have a trial for every single person. That would be millions of trials. The people elected me in a landslide with we won every swing state. We won everything there is to win by big numbers. Not only swing state, we won the popular vote by millions of votes. They elected me. This was the number one issue. And now we have judges radicalized and they're crazy because they want us to have, if you believe this, they want us to have a trial for every person that came in illegally into our country. So they come into our country illegally. And then we're supposed to take weeks, I guess, and months to have a trial on every criminal. And we have murderers all over the country. I don't think the Supreme Court will stand for that. I can't believe it. Because you know what? If they do, we're not going to have a country.
Yes, sir. How will you make sure that
Go ahead.
How will you make sure that the judges that you appoint are different than that?
All you can do is do the best you can. You know, you try and appoint the best people to being judges or anything else that you appoint. But so far, you've been very disappointed with the decisions that come out. And mostly from people appointed by others than me. But it's just so hard to believe that you have a murderer. Many, we have 11,888 or whatever the number is. We have thousands of murderers in this country. We're getting them out. Did they say, we don't want them out? We want them to stay in our country until they have a trial. Trials take years. They take years. It's so crazy. We won't have a country left.
Trump's voice hardens as the topic shifts to immigration, and what he says next is nothing short of a warning. We have millions of illegal entrants, and we can't have a trial for every single one. That would mean millions of trials. He's calling out the system, and the judges who demand trials for all. He calls them radical. He calls them crazy. And he's not wrong. We are not a country if we can't protect our borders. We are not a nation if murderers get court dates before deportation. Trump is furious, not at immigrants, but at the system that enables them, at the courts, at the policies, at the weakness. If the Supreme Court allows this, he says, we won't have a country anymore. And just when the media tries to twist his words, Trump fires back, Wall Street Journal. You are a rotten newspaper. You treat us terribly. You are part of the problem. This isn't just immigration policy. This is a war for the soul of America.
Tell us about those talks.
So Mexico is saying that I offered to send U.S. troops into Mexico to take care of the cartel. She wants to know, is that true? Do you think I'm going to answer that question?
That's why I'm asking. We'll see.
I will answer it. It's true.
And why would you do that?
Because they are horrible people that have been killing people left and right. They've made a fortune on selling drugs and destroying our people. We lost 300,000 people last year to fentanyl and drugs. They're bad news. Yeah, that's true. If Mexico wanted help with the cartels, we would be honored to go in and do it. I told her that. I would be honored to go in and do it. The cartels are trying to destroy our country. They're evil. And, we had 300,000 people die last year from fentanyl and all that. We had millions of people brought into this country that shouldn't be here. The cartels brought them in. So if she said that I offered to do that, she's 100% right.
But are you disappointed that she denied that request, but she doesn't want?
Well, she's so afraid of the cartel she can't walk. So, that's the reason. And I think she's a lovely woman. But the president of Mexico is a lovely woman. But she is so afraid of the cartels that she can't even think straight.
Trump is asked a question that stops the room cold. Did he offer to send U.S. troops into Mexico to take on the cartels? He doesn't hesitate, no dancing around it. No political doublespeak, he says. Yes, absolutely. Because they should be. They are horrible people. They are killing left and right. And just like that, Trump confirms what no other president would dare admit. He's ready to cross the border, not to negotiate, but to eliminate evil. 300,000 Americans lost to fentanyl and drugs. In just 1 year, Trump blames the cartels and the weakness of leaders who fear them more than they fear judgment. He says, if Mexico asked, he would be honored to help, he says. The cartels are trying to destroy America, and if the president of Mexico won't act, it's because she's too afraid to walk outside. And then he lowers the hammer. She's a lovely woman, but she can't even think straight because she is terrified of the cartels. This isn't foreign policy. This is battlefield clarity. Trump has made it clear. If it takes boots on the ground, he'll do it. Because to him, cartels are not just criminals. They are enemies of the United States.
100 days, what do you see as your main agenda items for the next 100
I think we had the greatest 100 days in the history of our country for an administration. I think we've done more. We've gotten rid of, we're strengthening up our military. Think of it. 6 months ago, we had the worst numbers in the history of our military for joining our military and police. Now we have the best numbers we've ever had. You just think of that. It's not even possible. Inflation's down. All costs are down. Everything is down, other than, as Tristan said, the thing that you carry the babies around in. But that's up 3%. Energy's down, gasoline's down. Nobody's ever seen anything. Florida had a schedule. So people that were paying a lot for groceries, they're paying a lot less. And interest rates are even down. We have a very stubborn Fed, but Fed should lower, but that's okay. But interest rates are down, mortgage rates are down. It's pretty amazing. So I don't think there's ever been a better opening 100 days. We have a lot of fake polls where they interview Democrats, not Republicans, but meeting more Democrats. I had a pollster that sent me a legitimate pollster, John McLaughlin, top person. He said he's never seen polls that were so fake before, where they overweight the Democrats. And I only bring that up because I think it's something that should be said. It's a shame how dishonest the media is. The media is corrupt and they're dishonest, and it's so bad for our country. Thank you very much, everybody.
Trump is asked, "What's next for your administration? What comes after this?" And his answer is thunder. "We've had the greatest first 100 days in the history of our country. For any administration, he's not guessing. He's declaring. He lists the wins like trophies, military recruitment. Up, inflation down, energy down, gas prices down, grocery costs down, even mortgage rates are going down. And what about the fake polls? Trump says they're rigged. They oversample Democrats and try to tell America it's losing when it's actually winning. He says the polls are fake, the media is dishonest, and the truth is this administration is far ahead of schedule. Then he says the quiet part out loud. We don't just have fake news. We have fake data. We have fake narratives. We have fake democracy, manufactured by corrupt media empires, and he doesn't just call them out. He names them, he points at the cameras, and reminds America, these people are not here to inform you. They are here to mislead you. This is not a celebration speech. It's a war cry, because to Trump, the real 100-day accomplishment is not what was passed, but what was exposed.